Hey, welcome to Fox 10 Talks, everybody. I'm Brian Webb here with Trenton Hooker today, and Michael Obie's back there. And, we are blessed to have Hal. Hal's a big shot, and he's doing our show.
Yeah, he just was like, I want to come in on the weekend. I love Sundays.
Is that what it was, or he makes somebody mad?
Keep me home. I'm going to be here.
On a beautiful day like today, he wanted to come in and join our show.
Love it.
Gotta love it. All right.
Dedication.
Well, I mentioned it's a beautiful day. If you haven't been outside, you're crazy. Get out there. I mean, we've been waiting months for this. The highs in the 80s, I think.
I know. I believe we are in the 80s finally.
80s.
I don't know about you, but it always seems like here, Halloween is kind of when it hits, not the first weekend of October.
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
Amazing outside.
It's a little tricky when that calendar hits October. And
I know. No kidding.
It hasn't cooled down yet. But today it has. I went to the local restaurant I go to sometimes today, and there was really kind of nobody there. It was maybe noonish, and I'm like, where'd everybody go? And he's like, well, we were slammed early, and now everybody's out at the park or walking the dog or doing whatever they're doing. So the schedule kind of changed with the weather.
Right. I don't know about you, but what's one of the first things that you do when it cools down here that you love to go and do? Mine is get out in the mountains.
Really?
What I can, yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a full crazy hike or anything, but just getting that moment where you can kind of get a little bit of elevation and be like, it's great to be in Arizona.
To me, it means yard work.
Okay.
I got to plant grass.
Yard work. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I let my grass die during the summer. I just don't have what it takes to keep it going.
Yeah. I thought that was one of the perks of living in Arizona, no landscaping.
I know, right?
So
I have a little patch of grass, so I get it going during the winter, so I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. Trim some trees. With that big rain, my God, the weeds just went nuts in my yard.
Right.
And the plants, which are basically weeds with flowers on them, went nuts. So I'm out there, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got these big machine. I'm going to, I'm lucky I still have all my fingers.
I'd love to see the security footage of that. You just go into town.
I can't keep up.
Being the landscaper.
Here's one little tip. I hope nobody gets mad at me for saying this. Planting bougainvillea is the biggest mistake I ever made.
I'm impressed you said that word fully.
They're so cute when they're at the little store and they're a little flower and they're this big. Yeah. And 10 years later, they are monsters.
There's hell to be paid. Yeah.
The stickers on those things are like that. When you're walking by, they just jump out and grab you, throw you, start kicking you. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, what do I do with these things? I mean, I can't even see the top of them now. They're so big. It's crazy.
No kidding.
Anyway, I do love fall, though, having said all that. So I'm excited to get back out there. I just think it's a weight off my shoulders, all of our shoulders, that it's just not that oppressive sunshine. When you walk out that door and just, boom, you get hit with the heat.
Yeah. Well, speaking of our own fresher breath air, Taylor Wirtz, she's out seeing the sights, everything else. Taylor, how you doing? I know you've got a really interesting place you're at today.
Yeah, that's right. We're at McCormick Stillman Park, the Railroad Museum Park in Scottsdale, and just want to show you how many people are out. I don't know if you can see with this small camera, but this is such a rare sight. But we are finally getting to that point, it seems, where people can be outside again in the valley and not want to die. And it's lovely. And they're celebrating the anniversary of the museum, and they've got the train going with all the kiddos, and they've got a little fall festival going on. And it's just a really nice place to be right now. The carousel's going, there's food stands, shopping, and also this grass is so green, which is also a welcome sight here after the summer.
Hey, Taylor,
so awesome.
Remind me, you're still fairly new to Fox 10 and the Phoenix area. Is this your first relatively cool day here, or did you get any of those on the front end?
No, this is pretty much one of the best days. I think it's 85 right now, and I never thought I'd say that 85 felt great, but this feels amazing. I think when I got here it was about 115 the whole week.
Ouch.
So I will take this.
Love it.
That was what, June then you got here?
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
The worst time to arrive.
Boy.
Yeah.
Someone tricked you into that, the higher date. You should have held out a few more months.
Right.
I know. That was not my smartest negotiations.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I was actually out there a couple weeks ago at that railroad park. Took my little one, I have a 3.5-year-old daughter, and man, she just loved the little miniature trains.
It's all about trains out there, right?
Really cool. Yeah, the old historic railroad depot there in Ticket Office. But I think on the weekends they run the steam engine ones, which are really cool. But like Taylor's showing right there, that's the Ticket Office, and then they also have it all decked out for Halloween too. Which I think, Taylor, right, it's next week that they start the Halloween, like, haunted train ride thing they have going.
Sounds cool.
Really, really neat.
Is that big building there, do you remember, is that a historic home of some kind? I haven't been out there in years. I'm trying to cobble my memory together.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Building itself...
Well, that's where the carousel is, actually.
Okay.
Which is really neat.
And then they have little rides for kids on mini trains.
Super cool,
Yeah,
and
awesome.
It's just a few bucks. It's really neat, really neat. But they have the whole thing decked out for Halloween, and then they have like animatronic, different ghosts, goblins, aliens. They really went all out. I was impressed for a city park in Scottsdale. This is top notch, and the people there were telling me, the engineer who runs one of the small trains, she was saying that it's not a event where you just show up and, hey, I'm ready to go and do this. You need to get your tickets in advance, get them online, because people do come out in full force for it.
Very cool. Taylor, are people out there, are they doing organized events or just kind of milling about and enjoying the sunshine?
It seems like most people are just, hopping on for a train. You can see there's a bit of a line for the train there. There's people getting snacks. So... a little bit of pre-planned stuff with all the booths that they have here, but for the most part, people are just hanging out, riding rides, and enjoying the nice weather, I think.
So cool.
And
Awesome.
Trenton, you said it's called the Golden Jubilee.
Right.
When you put those words on it, you gotta bring your A game.
You do.
It's not just an event or a thing or a festival. It's a jubilee.
Yes.
All like kind of British.
Celebrating 50 years.
50 years.
And then they also have, I believe it's called the Depot, which they just opened a month or so ago, or a couple months, which is this indoor play place for kids, but it's all like in the theme of the train, and it's really neat because it's like a 3-story playground basically that's this old locomotive frame that they kind of made it look like, and it's got an interactive display and stuff, and really neat. I can't tell you enough.
Can I ask a managerial question here?
Ooh.
Does Taylor actually get paid to do all this?
Absolutely.
I mean, she's at a park today. She was at a haunted house last night.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Saying that's work is a stretch.
Not just anyone can do this job, Brian. I don't know if you know that.
It's true. It takes a special kind of person to walk backwards through a haunted house on live television.
And show no fear. That's
Brian,
the biggest part
I didn't see you volunteering to go do it yesterday.
Thank you. Brian Webb would be crying like
to
a
my mommy.
Screaming little child if he was in there. Light or no light, doesn't matter.
Good point.
So
Good point.
Somebody's got to do it. I will happily.
I was served. All right, I get it. Good job,
awesome.
Taylor.
Well, Taylor, we'll see you at 5 o'clock on the news.
Sounds good.
A good one coming. So thank you so much.
See you then.
That's fun.
Awesome. A lot going on. You want to talk about this?
Which we pivot to?
Mark Sanchez.
Should we go to Mark Sanchez?
Issue, I think, is just
it's
crazy.
Nuts. It's
how it's happening. Can you talk about like how it kind of started, where we got the headlines initially, what we thought this was, and then today we got some major updates in it?
I heard bits and pieces about some fight, and he's a former NFL quarterback,
right? Now
a broadcaster in Indianapolis for the game today. There he is on the right, big guy,
and
clearly.
Fox NFL analyst.
Right. And I initially heard that he was in a fight with some sort of Uber Eats driver, which I guess didn't turn out to be exactly correct. Then today I read more on it that he got stabbed, and I'm like, well, how did that happen?
Right.
Then it kind of dribbled out to my world that the other guy was beaten to a pulp, and that this all happened in the alley of a restaurant in Indianapolis where he was going to call the game.
And he's in custody arrested, right?
Yeah.
In the case. It was like, what?
And the pictures of the guy he got into this altercation with are bad.
Yes. If we could pull up Hal Rim 6 real quick, I just wanted to show this to folks. So the Fox 59 affiliate in Indianapolis was able to obtain some photos of the victim in the hospital. And again, just like this shows on here, these are graphic, folks. So let's take a look. But you just see this gentleman who was a grease truck driver. So apparently the court affidavit, what was filed against Mark Sanchez, shows that this gentleman, a 69-year-old truck driver, he was at that pub as per his job to empty the grease trap in restaurants. As you know, like a lot of them have fryers and other waste, food waste that needs to be drained and, sucked out with these vacuum trucks. So he pulls in, and according to what he told police, he said he saw Mark Sanchez in the alley of where this grease trap was, and he was kind of shadow sprinting. So, kind of running in place really quick, apparently.
And this is midnight, so that's strange right there. I mean, he's kind of
caught his attention.
Exercise enthusiast or who knows?
Who knows, right. And they had some words, and apparently Sanchez had told this gentleman that he needed to move his truck so that people could be in the alley and kind of exercise, and then things got heated.
As one does.
Yeah, right.
Exercise in an alley in downtown Indianapolis at midnight.
Yeah. What else do you do in Indy, honestly? And at that point, the guy was trying to just do his job and go a course of business, and apparently, Sanchez was trying to get in the truck and get him out of the way, and that's when this man, the 69-year-old, had a can of mace on him and maced him. And then things got heated from there, and Sanchez allegedly body slammed him on the concrete.
I'm guessing this guy had no idea who he was dealing with at that point.
No.
I mean, why
shadow sprinting at night and asking him to move the car. I think he just thought, hey, was this guy like getting in the way of me doing my job?
It's not going to end well for anyone.
Right.
Clearly, Sanchez was not calling the game today. And Fox, I read this.
Then I think the man was defending himself and pulled out a knife and stabbed him.
Oh, right. So mace first, then knife second.
Yeah.
So Mark Sanchez was stabbed, and this guy was beaten to a pulp.
Right. And I believe the arrest and what came out in this affidavit was only after investigators had looked at the CCTV footage and verified that, hey, does this guy's story match up with what this happened? Because I can only imagine the investigators getting on that scene of like, hey, NFL QB is stabbed. There was an attack. There's another gentleman, and it's in this alley. We don't know what's going on, and having to unravel all that.
I'm always too like in the middle of the night during a melee like that, and someone famous is involved. Like, who puts that together? I don't know that I would know that that's Mark Sanchez. I know who he is,
right?
But just given the circumstance, it's so out of place.
Yeah,
you're like,
what are you doing here in Indy? Right?
Are you that guy?
Yeah,
Yeah. And how you put that two and two together?
Exactly. Yeah. It's I mean, obviously, it's smarter people than us to be able to get through and piece one of those very complicated situations together. But
Hey, we're back.
Fox 10 Talks, we're making it happen today, aren't we, Brian?
Before we talk to Nicole, did Hal just cut us off?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Like no warning,
I think
no countdown.
Finally getting to the point for Fox 10 Rambles.
We just were making our point, Hal, and he's like, boop, you're out.
But you know what? Now whoever comes after me is going to be a surprise.
That's true.
You guys didn't actually get to say.
I think it's just another testament to Hal's power trip on this Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, we love him coming in.
Throwing his weight around.
Right.
Just because he's been here for 60, 70, 80 years.
Oh.
How long has it been?
I don't even think he hears the shade being thrown right now. Or he's being really good at ignoring it.
And he can't even defend himself right now.
Does he know there's a camera and microphone he could access if he wanted?
It's terrible. He's not going to do it.
He doesn't want
He's not going to give you the satisfaction. Well, let's talk about your story, which is a much more serious topic. But I remember when this happened with the Mount Ord teenagers. It was a 17 and 18-year-old, right? High school seniors. When this happened, we were all just like, oh my gosh, like how did this happen? But it was for Labor Day?
It was it was Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Actually like right after they were done with the school year, I believe. Right. They had gone on a camping
trip. A lot of
trip.
people, go out to that area, in Payson area or, in the forest and, hit it. And when it happened, we were just like, who are these teens and how did...
a couple, right?
They were not.
Right.
I don't believe. Just friends.
Yeah.
Just friends.
Right.
But when you hear about two teens going out and then they end up killed, I mean, the theories start flying, suspicions start flying, the questions, it's devastating to find out. And then you find out it was a double homicide. And then you find out that they don't really have a lead, so we thought, for a while. But this guy, Thomas Brown, that is the alleged killer. He, it's so wild. He not only apparently took the opportunity to murder these two teens that he, as far as investigators know right now, did not know. It was random, according to them, but also took it upon himself to insert himself into the investigation, and was almost immediately contacting investigators saying, I have drone footage. I actually ran into two young people that were in this car, and then investigators matched the description of the car to the two teens. And he's giving all of this information, which is just, you hear about that on movies and courtroom dramas that, they insert themselves into the investigation. But I just got off of an interview with Lance Lysing, a former FBI special agent. He said it's actually kind of unique that he did that. That people don't do that as often as you would think.
Maybe a little bit of Hollywood there, maybe?
Yeah, like that it happens, of course, but he said that kind of makes this unique, how much he got involved, and that it helps the investigation, obviously, to have all of this information coming from this person who was allegedly there but not involved. And then once, the misleading information, the false information starts coming to light, he unravels.
So there's the returning to the scene of the crime is one thing, but then actually...
contacting the investigators and saying, hey, let me tell you about that, because he's a 31-year-old from Chandler who he told investigators and volunteered that himself, reaching out, saying he was camping near the teens, might have information. I mean, this wild when you say that.
He's a married veteran too.
He has no criminal history that they could determine, is what his lawyer claims, at least. But I will tell you that Lysing on our call said, I would be shocked if investigators are not looking really closely at his history now, because I mean, just the idea that he said it could have been a crime of opportunity. He had been thinking about it, and then it became an opportunity that he took advantage of. But he said, I would be shocked if they aren't looking deeper, because this level of psychosis
it's not just something you wake up on Friday
and the fact that he was so willing, and he just thought he had basically committed the perfect crime. He thought he was going to get away with it. So let me tell people about it. And it's just...
There's some thoughts of premeditation here, right? So is that part of it? I think I read so that... Yeah, you would think you think you would graduate to crimes like that, not just start with crimes like that.
Exactly, because not only were they shot multiple times, both of them, these are two young people. We are assuming that he didn't know them, according to what investigators know right now, that he didn't know them, it was random. So he goes and allegedly kills these two young people and then drags their bodies away. I mean, just no regard at all for their obviously their lives or for, the respect of finding them in any, he wanted them hidden. He wanted them, to be, there were drag marks. I mean, it's just really horrific to think of.
Wrote on Facebook that he, just got home from camping in Mount Ord and, quote, he regretted staying one more night, LOL.
Yeah.
And that he had a gang of, quote, rando adults playing music and camping next to me. And then he was posting news articles about the crime.
And
it's just...
and there were five other people who they considered witnesses, I guess, that were in the area that had reported seeing him, or who they determined later on was him, acting suspicious. We don't know exactly what he was doing to act suspicious, but Lysing made the point that, you can't take it out of the realm of possibility that he could have been scoping those people out.
And I just think, where was he going with this? What was his end goal here? That he's gonna be some hero? I assume that's it, some sort of hero complex. Hey, I solved this crime that I allegedly committed. I mean, reward money. I don't know if that was part of it or not. I mean, where did he think this through?
Yeah, Lysing said that, and I don't want to give away too much of our story and the insight that he gave us, because we are going to have a really good piece at 9 and 10. He gave a lot of good insight, but he did say that it basically all comes down to narcissism and power. He was getting involved because he said, you know what, I'm going to tell all these people, and you're not smarter than me, and you're not going to solve this.
That tracks.
So,
that certainly tracks.
Yeah.
With what I just know of society. And you think about real quick the victims in this. Now that I'm an older person, I think back when I was that age, and you hadn't even lived your life yet. You aren't even who you are yet.
Yes.
They hadn't even graduated high school. They had so much of their life ahead of them. It's just really sad. And
those families too, where you have similar murders and gruesome crimes, and they don't get justice, and or it's delayed, 10, 20, 30 years, and at least hopefully they'll have a day in court where we can see if they can get closer to that.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
very good. Thank you, Nicole.
It's gonna be great.
Thanks, Nicole. Appreciate you coming in.
As always.
Guess what we have next? Movie time.
It's happening.
Well, that sounds fun.
Big case coming up. Wow. Hans Peterson,
a resident Hollywood expert.
I'm looking forward to Nicole's story at 9 and 10.
I know,
and 5.
I know.
It sounds like a movie itself, right?
Right.
Really.
Definitely going to be an episode of Dateline.
And guys like Agent Lysing, I mean, just the stories that they can tell, like the things that they've seen and experienced.
Incredible.
Just, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You saw a weird movie, a unique movie.
We'll start with Good Boy.
Oh, Good Boy. Right.
I'm excited about this one because I saw a trailer and it's like, wow, that's such an original idea, to do it.
Yeah, it's an inventive approach to a thriller that's shot entirely from the perspective of the dog, Indy. The director, Ben Leonberg, spent 400 days to complete this film in his own home with his own dog. And the human faces are in shadow the whole time. You don't see people. It's like Charlie Brown or Muppet Babies, where the adults are just pairs of legs and you just hear them. Yeah, so how do you pull that off? I mean, in a way, I think that we were talking earlier, it reminds me of Hitchcock's Rope in the sense that you marvel at the technical accomplishment of this, of being able to do it. Yeah. But in the end, you're kind of left asking, what is this movie about, actually? It's a little light on narrative, to be honest, because...
So
the main
is
character's
it
a dog.
Post-apocalyptic?
No. It's in a haunted house. It's sort of a haunted house story. A guy moves to his inherited grandfather's cabin, and he's afflicted with a strange disease, and the dog is the one who's tracking the spooky creatures in the home. So really, the dog is the main character. It's a typical haunted house movie.
Do we hear the dog's thoughts somehow?
No, it's not even like that. Yeah, you just hear him whine, and you hear the guy talking once in a while. So there's a little bit of dialogue.
Oh, wow.
But you are kind of, a lot of it's told through the editing, where the dog reacts to something, and then you see the spooky creature. And
are you able to track along at least, with interpreting what the dog's saying to kind of get a little bit of the narrative? Is there enough of a mystery where
there's a good amount of mystery, but
whoa,
there is
we're going up in the ship.
Oh,
it's happening. We're rising on the lobe scale.
Hal, put us down.
Rising on the lobe scale. I think it's a 5.
Was Tilly, what's her name, part of this movie? The AI actress?
No, there is no AI actress.
Okay.
But I was left wondering, this dog is such a good actor. Is there AI involved? But there's not. It's all the dog. And really, the dog is the best actor in the movie. I'm just going to say it.
Hope the dog has an agent.
So I was going to say, I hope he got a good cut. Alpo payments.
But it's
That's
got
great.
Good 92% critics rating, 86% audience rating. I would might consider waiting till streaming on this one, though, because it's a 75-minute film if you're paying, $15. Yeah. Another really good one, though, talking about streaming movies, Apple TV's The Lost Bus, starring Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I saw the trailer pop up for that one.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's Apple?
Apple TV, so you can watch it for free. It was just in a few theaters for Oscar consideration, but it's basically premiering on Apple.
And this is about the wildfire in 2018, Paradise, California?
It's about the campfire destroyed the town of Paradise in 2018. Yeah, school bus driver Kevin McKay is carrying 22 students and a teacher on board, trying to make his way out of the fires. And, from the opening shots of the power lines blowing in the wind, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
I have to ask, does Matthew McConaughey give us some life philosophy behind the wheel of the bus?
There is.
He always does.
Bonding moments between Matthew and America.
That's all you need to know, Trenton.
Right.
All right.
Stuck with you all these years later. Yeah.
It is. It's a terrifying movie, and dramatic tension goes from bad to worse. And it's amazing to see these real life events that we report on here dramatized years later into this terrifying story. So that's really,
I read a review real quick about the Daniel Day-Lewis coming back, working with his son.
Yeah.
And the review, Times, I think, said that basically sometimes actors are bigger than the films they're in. Kind of a nod to how good he is, and maybe the script or the direction or director who is his son maybe weren't quite up to. Because you don't get better than Daniel Day-Lewis.
Right.
So,
and this is supposed to be the one he's coming back from retirement with.
That's the buzz.
Wow.
The best
interesting. He's such an interesting guy, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
they show it, I'll see it. That's it with him.
Right. I mean, they just. He's the top. You can't. Him and Meryl Streep, right?
Unmatched.
You can't. I heard somebody say they'll never write a script that Meryl Streep can't handle. And I feel the same about him. I mean, Lincoln and
I feel the same way about
There
Brian
Will Be
Webb.
Blood.
There will be blood.
Yeah.
I've heard that. People are talking. People are saying.
Shout out to Alex Peterson. We got one comment today. Shout out to Alex Peterson.
Cool. Hey, all
Thanks,
right.
Alex.
A relative?
It might
Possibly.
be. Possibly.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
There we go. We
Yeah.
make the connection.
Do we have time for Smashing Machine?
We absolutely do.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring that one
this
up too.
one I thought was interesting because of the buzz on social media with the transformation, if you will, of The Rock from his usual hulking presence to a slimmed down, leaner version where people were like, okay, is this like a lifestyle change or was this for his role?
It's just for his role. And there's some prosthetics there too.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of buzz already, a lot of praise for his performance. It's arguably a career-changing movie for him. And great chance to show off his acting chops. And a lot of people wondering if this is an Oscar winning turn for him or at least a nomination for him.
And A24 was the studio behind it.
And director Benny Safdie.
Well, he's been the big blockbuster guy, so maybe he's moving to get some awards now.
I think so. He's trying to go legit with
good stuff.
I think that's exciting, to see out from the normal blockbuster smash. Yeah.
And it's going to be enjoyed by everyone, sports fans and non-sports